Huh?
What?
I welcome my select viewers to my YouTube channel, Writer Sandhanam Speaks. Today is the 81st video, and today's topic revolves around Sri Ramana Maharishi, about whom I had already made a few videos. In the latest video on Ramana Maharishi, I had mentioned or compared Ramana Maharishi to the vast sky, and the subject of Ramana is inexhaustible. Today is also about the inexhaustible Ramana, and the topic is about the letters written by one Telugu lady, Suri Nagamma, to his brother. That letters covers 5 years between 1945 and 50. She was a devotee of Ramana who sat at the feet of the sage and recorded whatever came out of his holy mouth and sent it in letter form to his brother, who in turn translated it for the global audience. His name is D.S. Shastri. And this voluminous book contains 273 letters written by Suri Nagamma, published by Ramanasramam. I have taken a few letters for the benefit of the readers because of the time constraint, and I have given the title as Lettered Wisdom of Suri Nagamma from Ramanasramam. This lettered wisdom is based on the analogy of the phrase used by 18th century literary giant called Dr. Samuel Johnson in his book Journey to Western Island of Scotland, where he uses the phrase lettered hospitality, referring to a very learned host. Generally, the world of letters contains 3 types of letters. One is between 2 individuals conveying their personal matter. Second is between 2 learned or intellectual scholars like the French philosopher Romain Rolland and the spiritual leader Mahatma Gandhi. But the third type is a very rare specimen. It contains pure wisdom. These letters containing pure wisdom was written by the Telugu lady Suri Nagamma to his brother. And out of these 273 letters, I have only taken out a few for the benefit of the listeners. Men speak words, whereas the sages utter scriptures, like the Sermon on the Mount by Jesus and the words of Buddha. Buddha, when he talked, he said, "Truth is the subject of my conversation and nothing else." So, when Ramana spoke, it was pure scriptures, which was fortunately recorded by the lady. Out of this time constraint, I am taking out a few letters which are given some topics like world is an illusion, Brahman is a real, like that. So let me read out my written speech on these letters. The first one: the son is beholden to the father. The first letter, dated 21st September 1945, describes the deity of Arunachala Eswara's pratakshana around the hill, that is Arunachala hill, after the full moon day, 2 days ago, when the festival of light was celebrated. When the deity was nearing Ramanasramam, Sri Ramana was seated near the book depot inside the compound. And the arti plate offered to Arunachala Iswara was brought to Bhagavan, who in turn took the ashes, that is holy ashes, vibhuti, and applied it to his forehead, saying in an undertone, Appakku Pillai Adakam, meaning the son is beholden to the father. The letter writer Suri Nagamma says, I quote, the expression on his face proved the ancient saying, Bhakti Purnataya Jnanam. The culmination of devotion is knowledge. My comment. As the letter indicates, it justifies Ramana's statement on his arrival at Arunachala's sanctum sanctorium after he left his mother home in his 17th year with the words, Father, I have arrived. Appa, Nan Vanduvitten in Tamil. There is a similar statement by the Estuval sage Manikavasagar, the Tamil poet, in his famous work Thiruvasagam, where he compares himself to a child in the protective hands of the Divine Mother. Strangely, these words occur under the chapter Thiruvambavai, sung at Thiruvannamalai itself by the poet. The Tamil words are Kayyil Pillai Onakke Adaikalam. Number 2, service of Atma Swarupa in Atma is Atma Seva. This letter dated 28th November 1945 speaks of a dialogue between a retired judge and Bhagavan. I quote, It was about that time a retired judge of the ripe old age said, Swamiji, I should also be given my share of service to the feet of the Guru. To this Bhagavan replied, Oh really? Atma vai Guruhu, service to self is service to Guru. You are now 70 years of age. You to do service to me? Enough of that. At least from now onwards, service yourself. It is more than enough if you remain quiet. My comment. This quietness referred to Ramana can be compared to another sage, Thaimanavar's song. Sittam Mavanam Sayalvakku Ellam Mavanam Sutta Mavanam Vandu Thondrin Paraparame. Meaning, when that pure silence descends on you, your thought, speech and action becomes quiet. 3. Worldly troubles. This letter dated 30th November 1945 talks of a man who came with his wife and wanted to stay at Ramanasramam, but asked his wife to go home, which she refused. She wanted her husband to return home with her. When complained to Ramana by this man, Bhagavan made the following statement and made the audience laugh heartily. Where will you go, my dear man, forsaking your family? Will you fly up into the sky? After all, you have to remain on this earth. Wherever we are, there is the family. I too came away saying I did not want anything, but see what a big family I have now. My family is 100 times bigger than yours. My comment. Ramana never asked anybody to renounce his family, and one could remain unattached while in the family. This corresponds again to Thaimanavar's song. பாரெல்லாம் பொய்யனவே பட்டினத்து பிள்ளையைப் போல் யாருக்கும் துறக்கை அரிது அரிது மனத்துறவும் அவ்வாறே இரண்டில் ஒன்றே நீ ஓர். Meaning, it is difficult for everybody to take to sannyas. It is enough if one remains with a family observing mind renunciation. 4. What is meant by samsara? Similar reply is given to another man in the letter dated 1st December 1945. An Andhra man wants to abandon samsara, but Ramana says, supposing you leave your wife and children, if you are here, this will become another kind of samsara. Supposing you take to sannyasa, Another kind of samsara comes into existence in the shape of walking stick, kamandala, that is water bowl, and the like. Why all that? Samsara means samsara of the mind. If you leave that samsara, it will be something wherever you are. Nothing troubles you. My comment. If there is no thinking, no wanting, confirms sage U.G. Krishnamurti. His junior, Ramana's junior U.G. Krishnamurti. Number 5. Go the way you come. This is dated 2nd December 1945. In this letter, another Andhra gentleman asks Ramana to show the correct path to attain moksha. The answer by Ramana was, go the way you came. The gentleman was nonplussed, that is confused, as to its meaning. Then the book written by Ramana, Who Am I, was placed in his hands, and it was explained to him that as per the book, Who Am I, if one investigates and pursues the path from which that I came, one will attain moksha. My comment. This is a signature tune of Ramana Maharishi. It's teachings. That is, when one inquires who am I, then one will find that this I is only the non-existent ego. This inquiry will lead to the discovery of its disappearance, resulting in the real I, the only I, namely self with a capital S, Atman or God. Number 5. How do you know that you do not know anything? Letter dated 31st December 1945. This letter speaks of an ignorant traveler who tells Bhagavan that he does not know anything. The remaining part of the letter by Suri Nagamma is reproduced here, verbatim. You have found out that you do not know anything. That itself is enough. What more is required, said Bhagavan. How to attain mukti by that much alone, Swami? Asked the questioner. Why not? There is someone to know that he does not know anything. It is sufficient if you could inquire and find out who that someone is. Ego will develop if one thinks that one knows everything. Instead of that, is it not much better to be conscious of the fact that you do not know anything and then inquire how you could gain moksha? He felt happy at that and went his way. That questioner might or might not have understood the essence of that Bhagavatavani, the voice of the Lord. But for us, people here, though those words were echoing in our heart of hearts like mantraksharas, that is the letter of the gospel. Quotation ends. My comment. There is a happy comparison in the Tamil song of the sage Thaimanavar. Nandariyen, Tidariyen, Anandu, Nindravan, Yarandu, Ariyen, Nan Yezhayen Paraparame. Translated, I do not know what is good and what is bad. I do not know whom I am. I am an ignoramus. The Sakti that is one. This letter dated 16th May 1947 gives an answer to the questioner who asked Swami, how can jnanis like you sit quiet without moving when there is strife and turmoil in the world? Should they not help in establishing peace? Bhagavan replied, yes, they should. But how do you know that jnanis are not rendering any help? The remaining where they are is itself a help to the world. To all outward appearance, they seem to be doing nothing. That is because he sees the world as full of Brahman, and so nothing appears to him to be happy or unhappy. Better I conclude my brief talk on this subject with the extract of the letter dated 8th September 1947 from Suri Nagamma titled Samadhi. I will read out from this book. Meanwhile, a Tamil devotee opened the Thiruvasakam and began singing the song on pursuit. Towards the end comes the passage, "O Ishvara, you are trying to flee, but I am holding you fast. Where can you go and how can you escape from me?" Bhagavan commented with a smile. So it seems that he is trying to flee and they are holding him fast. Where could he flee to? Where is he not present? Who is he? All this is nothing but a pageant. There is another sequence of 10 songs in the same book. One which goes, "O my Lord, you have made my mind your abode. You have given yourself up to me, and in return have taken me into you. Lord, which of us is the cleverer? If you have given yourself up to me, I enjoy endless bliss. But of what use I am to you? Even though you have made of my body your temple out of your boundless mercy to me? What is it I could do for you in return? I have nothing now that I could call my own." This means that there is no such thing as I. See the beauty of it. Where there is no such thing as I, who is the doer and what is it that is done? Whether it be devotion or self-enquiry or samadhi. I conclude this with this Tamil songs quoted by Ramana. பாலனைந்தூட்டும் தாயினும் சாலப் பரிந்தினை பாவியனுடைய ஊனினை உருக்கி உள்ளொளி பெருக்கி ஓப்பிலா ஆனந்தமாய தேனினைச் சொரிந்து புறம் தெரிந்த செல்வமே சிவபெருமானே யானுனை தொடர்ந்து சிக்கன பிடித்தேன் எங்கெழுந்து அருடுவதினியே. There is one song. The second song is, who is cleverer, whether the devotee or God? தந்தது உந்தன்னை கொண்டது எந்தன்னை சங்கரா ஆர்குலோ சதுரர் அந்தமொன்றில்லா ஆனந்தம் பெற்றேன் யாதனே பெற்றது ஒன்று என்பால் சிந்தையே கோவில் கொண்ட எம்பெருமான் திருப்பரந்துரை உரை சிவனே எந்தையே ஈசா உடலிடம் கொண்டா யான் இதற்கு இளன் ஓர் கைமாறே. So Sri Ramana Maharishi, though bodily no more amongst us, but is everywhere, like the Brahman, and we can hold on to him through his teachings, brought out with all its glory through Suri Nagamma's letters from Ramanasramam. Thank you.